Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Freedom Mentor Live. So glad to have you here tonight. And I am joined by my esteemed colleague, Brian Bush. Welcome, Brian.
Hey Phil, how are you tonight?
I'm great. And we're going to have some fun, Brian. We're going to talk about reality versus hype in real estate. Now, you were getting started in real estate before you knew me back in the was it the late 90s? Was there hype back then? Was there hype about real estate?
It was a different kind of hype because we didn't have social media and internet the same way. I think it was the very end of 99 when I started, as I've shared before, studying on audio cassettes. So it's a different kind of hype, right? So,
True, true.
yep.
Well, looks like some of you all already chatting in where you're calling coming to us from. Tom from California, Ricky from Corsicana, Daryl from Charlotte, Michael from Wisconsin. Okay, great. Well, welcome everybody. For those of you, this is your first time with us on Freedom Mentor Live. What we're going to do is we're going to share with you some insight, things you'll hear nowhere else. And then we're going to invite on a special guest, and that is someone who's worked with us. And so tonight's special guest, John, I think you're really going to enjoy getting to know him. And he's going to share his real story because in a day and age where it's hard to know what's real and what's not, terrifyingly so at times, it's nice when you can finally get some real stuff. This is live, by the way. It's not simulated live, which I've been told some of you all have attended events like that. That just seems ridiculous to me. It is July 9th, and so yes, this is live. You could post there in the chat where you're coming to us from as well, so we know where our audience is coming from. And also, for those of you who've already had a little experience with us in the past, I'd like for you to chat in their examples of things that you would like to know if it's real or not, real or hype, right? Some of you all may have been in this a little while and you've seen a lot of hype, you've seen a lot of tall tales or big promises. So that's going to be our topic tonight, but feel free in the chat to chime in with your questions and your thoughts on what you don't know is hype or real. That's going to be our objective tonight. Welcome, Scott from South Carolina, Marsha from Chicago. All right. Again, our topic tonight is real estate, reality versus hype. What you've been told with what actually works. And we get excited about this because in a world with so much noise, there is truth, there is signal. So, Brian, we've used that I guess you'd call it an analogy between noise versus signal. Um, where do you recall where that came from? That whole phrase, the signal and the noise.
Is that Nate Silver? I'm trying to remember the author's name
That's right.
of that book. Yeah. But it's really just differentiating in the midst of all the information and glut of things said and shared. What is it that actually works? What is it that actually gets results? And that's what we've been focused on for decades now. And that's why we have so many graduates, because this is not just about telling you what you want to hear. This is about what's real. And I think that's what everyone's always loved, Phil, about all your videos when you're standing in front of the whiteboard,
Yeah.
because you're just sharing it the way it is. That's real.
Right.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, that book by Nate Silver was all about statistics, and what it proved was that human beings are terrible about predicting the future, but so many try, and so much of it is just nonsense or noise versus truth, signal. And so, what we're going to try to do tonight is provide you with signal, with truth, so that you can make better decisions, you can produce better financial results in your life, and so ultimately you can have more freedom. Welcome, Ramon from Miami. Welcome, Stephen from Sun City Center in Florida. I know exactly where that is located. All right. So, reality versus hype. I'm going to give you some examples of these where they just compare back and forth. The first one is major renovation projects. That's for television. These big fixer-upper projects. Brian, I've even seen something where they call it like rock the block, where they take new built or almost new built homes and they get these people from HGTV to completely internal interior decorate, but some add a bigger kitchen and a smaller bathroom and more of a closet here. And they do all of these creative things with transforming a property into something that is just spectacular, right? And you've got the before and the after. Um, but but that's for TV, isn't it, Brian?
Everything's made for TV. If it's got to be drama, right? You got to have big drama, or no one's going to watch. And you want a major transformation. But if anyone on here has ever done any kind of rehab, major renovations are major headaches. They come with major price tags, major discoveries of things you never knew that cost a lot of money. And in the real world, they're painful.
They are. Now it does make for great eye candy, as they say. You take this ugly house and you have someone taking a sledgehammer through a wall, and they got the goggles on and the helmet. It's all for show. You all, the reality of real estate investing is that it's about focusing on doing deals. It's it's not for television, and that's why, interestingly enough, you all, especially several years ago, even before COVID as well, I used to get a lot of different producers that would reach out to us because of how successful the YouTube channel was, and I think too because they saw the way I was in front of a camera. It's just natural. I'm always like this, by the way. The way you meet me on these Zooms is the exact way I I am all the time. And so I would get a lot of different groups reaching out to me about being a part of their latest reality TV show. And I guess they're used to people gushing over the idea of being on TV. But when I asked around some people I knew, talked to, even with some of these producers, and said, shoot me straight. What's the real commitment level here? And it was huge, and it would take me away from the real business. So just like I'm saying, the rehab projects are more for show than for dough. The same is true for the TV shows as well. The real dough is in the real estate, and that's what I kept my nose to the grindstone of doing deals and mentoring others, doing deals with them. So if you all think that real estate investing is about these massive fixer-upper transformations, it's not like that at all. It's about connecting with motivated sellers, structuring creative deals, and a lot of times there's no fix up at all. In fact, our guest coming on here shortly, John, um, most of his best profits have come from deals he never fixed up. And we'll show you examples of that too. So, welcome, Don from Springfield, Illinois. Welcome, Jair from McAllen, Texas. Oh, we got a great group tonight. All right. So, reality number one is it's not about what you see on TV. If you all are intimidated and concerned about knowing how to fix up the house, no, don't worry about it. That's not a big part of real estate. Where we've made the most money, y'all, are on deals that would never look exciting on a television show. Now, Brian, there have been some that have tried to record live interactions with motivated sellers, but that's just awkward, right? The seller's like, "What's the camera doing here? I don't feel comfortable. What are y'all doing to me?" No, the best deals are not good for television. Uh,
Absolutely true.
the next hype would be this idea of timing the market and taking action based on current events. I've got news for y'all. Successful real estate investors right now are not at all thinking about whether or not we're going to finally wrap up that conflict in Iran or finally watch that Ukrainian-Russian war come to an end, or whatever, the Strait of Hormuz being wide open again. Uh, to a creative and successful real estate investor, it has nothing to do with current events. Brian, for years we've heard the hype about the looming foreclosure tsunami and how a flood of foreclosures are going to hit the market. How does that how does the either fear, threat, or anticipation of a foreclosure tsunami, how does that play any role in what we do?
Well, whether it's shadow inventory or, everybody knows something no one else knows, and these are the secrets that you need to buy and so forth. The reality is, as we talked about it last week, we talk about it every week, people need a place to live. Unfortunately, people are always going through problems in life and they've got to sell their property. They've got to do something yesterday. And we specialize in solving people's problems, especially when they're outside of the box. They don't fit in the traditional realtor box. They need solutions that are creative. That's what we do. And they're not just everywhere, obviously, but we specialize in finding them and solving the problems, and we make great money doing it, no matter what the market's doing.
This truth, everyone, this reality, this signal we're sharing with you, this has transformed people's lives. Because as we brought them into our program, there is that concern. Did I start at the right time? Did I miss the boat? Did all the good deals already happen? And have I missed them? And where am I going to be a year from now or 2 years from now? If I start down this road, Phil, Brian, and where am I going to be 2 years from now? There are those concerns about timing. And I'm here to tell you that current events, that what's happening in the supposed marketplace has almost nothing to do with your success in what we do. So in when COVID hit, it's arguably the best example of this. We were as we went from 2013 or 2012, that was about the bottom of the market when we had our real estate bubble that burst in 2008. By the way, we made a ton of money in 2008, 2009, 2010. We made money throughout the whole thing because it had nothing to do with what was going on in the bubble. But from about 2013 to the end of 2019, uh, as you got to the end of 2019, there were a lot of pundits that were predicting. They're terrible at predicting, but they do it anyways. They were predicting that we're about to have a real estate correction. And the reason why was because we had just gone through 6 or 7 straight years of real estate climbing. Not drastic climbing, but a steady climb. And so they were worried it was overheated. It was ripe for a correction. All this was swirling. Do you think, Brian, myself, our entire nation of apprentices, do you think we slowed down because of those predictions? Do you think we made any changes to our formulas because of the pending slowdown? Well, of course not. It was full steam ahead. And the way that is done is on a deal by deal basis, y'all. Every deal can be a great deal if you've got the right ingredients, the right motivated seller, and those sort of things. And at any moment in time, you could buy a property and do a bad deal, even if the market's just crazy going up. You can always screw up, but you can always win. So we kept steady. COVID hits in early 2020. What do you think we did, y'all? Do you think we stopped investing? A lot of people did. A lot of hard money lenders shut down lending. I'm a hard money lender. I fund our students' deals. And did I stop? No. And you know what? We were looked upon like geniuses about 4 or 5 months later when we were getting all these deals. Prices were now climbing. We weren't prognosticators. We weren't predicting the future. We have a consistent model that works all the time, year in, year out. So that means you can continuously do what we teach. And so then a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the road, you're making more money, you're more successful, you have more freedom, you have better situation. You can bank on this. This is successful year after year, and it has nothing to do with current events. Yeah, you can see how passionate we are about that one. Brian, what about all those folks that think they can invest from their chair? that they could just do long distance deals. They can just kick back and send a few emails, make a few phone calls, and make hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars transacting real estate deals.
That pipe dream has been around for a long time, and I think there are people out there that will stumble around in the dark and occasionally make something work. But if you want to consistently do deals, you've got to consistently talk with real people. And I think, as we've identified before here, AI and this day and age of what's real, what's not. When you have real problems, you want to talk to a real person that you have to be confident can solve your problem.
Mhm.
And that's what we specialize in. One of the things that irks me the most, especially when it comes to wholesaling, is people that, I'll just throw it on the market, just throw it on the market. And they don't get to know their product. This is a hands-on business. We're in the business of homes and houses and fixing and all these other things that we get hands-on with. You got to get to know your product. You don't have to go swing hammers at it and waste a bunch of time and effort.
Sure.
But this is a people business. This is hands-on, and the people that we help very much appreciate that. That's where the money is.
Does that make sense, everybody? Real estate is a real people business. It is a business where you need to be in front of, in the face to face with the seller, and that's where you create deals. You need to go look at the property, especially if there's certain things that need to be prepared before selling. In some cases, you are doing light renovations. You hire contractors. You have to meet them there. Sometimes you have to get the utilities turned on while you're there. This is something that you do in person. Long distance investing, for the way that we do with creative house flipping, it doesn't work. This is hype. You start hearing people talk about investing from your armchair, never leave your desk, never leave your phone or your computer. No, it doesn't work that way. And so, yeah, what we're trying to do here tonight is separate the signal from the noise, the hype from the reality. And this may not be great news for you. And you're like, man, I wish I could just sit around, Phil, and look at my phone and make millions in real estate. Well, real estate's a little more in person than that. But for some people, they absolutely love that. Love being able to go out and look at properties. All right, so hype number four. And by the way, this is a no in no specific order. Uh, this idea that AI can do the work for you. Real estate is a real person business. AI can be a tool that can be used to help you, whether it is getting some feedback on what the property might cost to renovate, giving you some other research tools. But this is about you being there, connecting with sellers, with in some cases buyers, certainly with agents and title companies. It's a people business, but it's a real people business. So no, you're not going to magically solve all your real estate problems through AI. It doesn't work that way, and that's a great thing. That's what allows you to make so much money. This is a business that makes so much money. It's amazing. It helps a lot of people. But no, it doesn't. You don't just get to sit around from your armchair and let AI make the money for you. So if you're hearing that, that's hype. That's not reality. We talked about this. Actually, I kind of already mentioned this with the reality TV. Um, influencers and celebrities know best. Uh, this seems obvious, but I want to remind you all the reality is that you want to take advice from people that are in the trenches every day. I don't consider myself an influencer or celebrity or anything like that. Um, I'm a real estate investor. I'm a real estate mentor and coach, as is Brian, and we're in the trenches every day. And what I mean by that is we're working through deals every single day. When I mentioned this idea of not becoming a reality TV star, a big part of that was because it was going to take away from real estate investing. I practice what I preach. Or Brian, as I heard one time someone say, yeah, are you smoking what you're selling? And that is, do you do what you say you do? Yes, every day. And that's where you want to get your advice because it's in the trenches. It's in those day-to-day decisions that have to be made, problems that come up where we're solving problems. I was coaching a couple of our students, very, very senior level students, yesterday on a property that wasn't selling. And they're asking me questions and then just rolling out things that I've learned over 20 plus years in the business. And you got to try this and you got to move here, you got to do this. Um, it's in the trenches. Those are the people you want to take advice from. And that's where Brian and I are every day. And part of the reason why is because of the way our program works. When you're a part of our Freedom Mentor Apprentice program, we do deals with you. And so we're with you step by step. And as a result of that, we help create tremendous value, help you create more profits, and we share in those net profits until you put $250,000 in your pocket. So we work together. So we're in these things. We're in the trenches helping you every step of the way. And so be careful where you take advice from. Take advice from the people that are in the trenches every day. If they're on a television show and they're remodeling a house, they're a television person. They're not a real estate coach every day. All right. Hype number 6 is you can build a rental portfolio and generate massive cash flow with no money down. Brian, this one right here, this one does disappoint people, doesn't it?
It does. We've got a video we've referred to many times, how to turn 10,000 into 100,000. And I think in there we tracked 5 or 6 of our now graduates for the most part. How many deals did it take them to hit that 100,000 mark? And none of them did it, without working, without building up, without building a knowledge base and everything else that goes with that. But they had a real vehicle to get there, and that's what this provides.
This is so important that I share this lesson. I mean, there's been a lot of important lessons tonight already, but I want you to make sure that you really understand this one. You flip houses, you do creative short-term deals to earn income. Those are the no money down deals. And we did a Freedom Mentor live on that complete topic a week or two ago. You can absolutely do no money down deals. You can do lots of them, but they're short term. They're in, they're out. They're you being a transaction engineer, if you will. It's the best small business in America. It's what we teach. It's what we're so passionate about because it's so effective. And you're gonna meet John here in just a few minutes, and he went through the same thing. This became his career, and it's so wonderful. But I know you want to own rental property. You get the cash flow, you get the wealth accumulation from the equity going up, and you get tax deductions. Trophy rental properties are such an amazing gift to the financial world, and it transforms your long-term financial life. But the way you acquire those, the ones that actually cash flow, is you earn money from creative house flipping. You earn the money and then you use that. Now, can you get money partners and can you structure? Yes. But to get cash flow, you need to put your own money into your rental deals. We have tried to slice this in every way possible. This hype versus reality, this at least gives you a track, everybody. So if you want to own those trophy rental properties, I want you to own them too. I want to help you get there, but you first have to have some money in the bank. That's how you acquire ones that actually cash flow. No money down rental properties, or you raise all the money from outside sources. The ones where you have none of your own skin in the game and rental properties that you acquire almost never cash flow for you. They might cash flow for somebody else, the bank, the private lenders, or whoever you brought into the deal, but it wouldn't give you any money. This one's a big one because I think a lot of people stumble on that. They get bought into the hype, and unfortunately, that hype really lets them down when they realize, oh, I'm not going to cash flow on that 8 unit multifamily unless I put a 20% down payment down. Yeah, that's how it works. All right, this gets us to number 7 hype. You can close your first deal in a week. Has anybody, I hope, does anybody get any of that hype? I sure hope not. They're in the chat. Feel free to chime in if you do. I hope not. That's not real estate. Uh, let's talk reality here. If you're brand new to real estate, um, oh, thank you, Daryl. It took you 2 months. Yeah. Uh, if you're new to real estate, you first have to learn what you need to do. And I believe that our program is among the best that's ever existed in the history of this industry on helping you get there. But you do have to learn. Then you have to connect with sellers. And then you have to structure deals. And this is going to take several months to get this ball rolling. And the guest you're about to meet, who's made a whole lot of money in real estate, it took him a little while to get his first deal under his belt. But then you can do deal after deal after deal. You see, it's got an initial uh, almost necessary hazing to get you to that point of that first deal. Now, if you don't have a mentor, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, you may never get to your first deal. You may flounder forever, like I was doing, like Brian was doing when he was first getting started. But even with the greatest mentors in the world, it's going to take you a few months. You got to set that expectation right. That way, you know what going in, what it's really going to take. But here's the thing, Brian, time goes by so fast. I know we're in July right now, but it's going to be the holidays before we know it. And for some of you, how would you like to be, whether it's just after Halloween, you're getting into the Thanksgiving, and you just closed your first deal and you made $50,000. How's that going to feel going into the holidays with a whole lot more money coming in? Yeah, I mean, just set that expectation. You get the right team to mentor you, and you get started. But when? We already talked about there is no such thing as a timing of the market. The best time to get started is right now because you need to get this ball rolling. If it's going to take several months to get to your first deal, get the several months period started now so that several months from now, you've got that money coming in. And then by that time, you can do deal after deal after deal after. Then you don't have to wait another big chunk of months for your next deal. You just be consistent. Does that make sense, everybody? I hope this last 20 or so minutes, I hope I've provided you some realities that are perhaps different than the hype that Ricky's saying 7 days, they say. Yeah, it's just not. Truth be told, I heard a real estate guru one time. This was many years ago. He said, I always tell on my marketing, I always say that you can make money in 7 days. And he goes, now all real estate experts that have been in the business know that that's impossible, but that's what the audience wants to hear. So that's what I give. That's what I tell them. And I remember just cringing at that, going, that's ridiculous. Just tell people how it is. Let them know ahead of time so they can plan their life around these what the reality is. And so that's what I hope I've been able to do for you all here. And speaking of reality, I want to bring here to this Zoom one of our graduates of our program. His name is John, and a graduate means he's made net $500,000 profits in the actual earned profits, not equity, just real money from his real estate deals, of which we shared in that 50-50, so 250 in his pocket. And so now that he's a graduate, he's still a full-time professional real estate investor. But now he knows exactly what to do and how to do it. So John, you're welcome to jump in here. Michael, hopefully you can help bring him in. And I want you all to have some questions for him as well. I'll ask him some questions as well, and so you can really get to know his story and the reality of it all. John, welcome.
Thank you. Hey, Phil. Hey, Brian.
How's it going?
Good, good.
Y'all, it was so much fun mentoring John. John, I know I've told you this before, but I just
Yeah.
loved how you took action on the instructions and you overcame your fears. You got out of your comfort zone and you did what needed to be done. And of course, in the end, you made a lot of money and you still are. But take us back. And I know a little bit about your background. I might learn a little bit more here as I ask you, but my recollection is that you had served in the U.S. military on
Yeah,
the Army, the branch of
yeah,
the Army,
U.S. Army. Yeah.
and then it was from there you got out of the military. And tell us your journey into finding real estate as a career after your service.
Sure. After discharge from the army, I'm not sure what should I do. Kind of like lay back at a home for, I don't know, maybe 2, 3 months. Just like kind of cooling down, adjust to the civilian life.
Hmm.
And then I find a part-time job like deliver pizza, a server job, or like working in the supermarket organizer, something like that. Then one day I just saw you ad on the YouTube, the banner things out on the
Yeah.
YouTube. Said,
Yeah.
well, this guy sounds like interesting. I like his voice. Yeah, that's true. I'm those kind of person attract to like people who have a nice voice. I'll
Sure.
say, okay, and at least I wanted to like hear the voice. Let me see what he said and click the ad. I see the book and then I read the book, talk to my wife, say, okay, well, there's a program. I think maybe I can try, but I'm not quite sure. Back at the time, we have some life tragedy happen. So it took me a year to completely like settle down and then make the decision. Okay, Phil is real, and the book, it makes sense.
Mhm.
I don't think I can do that by myself. I definitely need somebody help me. Yeah.
So it's real interesting. I see y'all. You're here. He had a career switch. Again, thank you for your service in our military. By the way, some of
My
you
pleasure.
in the audience might wonder nationality. Uh, where are you originally from?
China. I'm born and raised in China.
Born and raised in China. Uh, and so you, once you come out of the military, you're obviously looking at options. You find out that real estate could be a career. But you said you were delivering pizzas as well. So when you first got started, let's have a reality check because I think some people think in terms of, okay, I'm just going to start real estate full time and not have a job. You were driving or delivering pizzas or Uber. You had a job while you got started in real estate, right?
Yeah. I think that's very important. If you want to like just from the beginning take off, be a full time, a lot of time you will feel the stress. What if it just take a couple months longer than you expect to get a deal to close, and then you see your bank account keep dropping down, 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 then you feel the pressure, you maybe freak out. If you got a like let's say W-2 or some other income, you will feel more confident to do the flip houses.
Yeah. What great advice. That is when we're talking about hype versus reality, everybody, what he just said, I'm so passionate about as well. For those of you who hate your job or want a different career and want to be in this real estate because it's so exciting, you've got to keep that money coming in until you start closing deals. And that's what he did. In fact, it's kind of a good gig of driving around. He got to look at some houses. He got to stop by some houses. And so it was actually it was actually complimentary. Anthony says, as much as I'm interested in real estate, how can I get the initial savings of let's say $10,000? Well, that's where a job can come in. I know that there's a stigma attached to entrepreneurs uh, getting a part-time job or earning some income on the side to save up. But yeah, a little bit goes a long way. I mean, that's a reality here. It's not that you need a ton of money, but if you've got at least $10,000, you've got to start. You've got the ability to get the ball rolling. But if you're starting with zero, as I can attest to, it makes it 50,000 times harder. So John had to do what he had to do. Had to drive. I mean, I think these days there's almost a verb for it, Brian. I heard like door dashing. I mean, there's
Yeah.
there's ways to get some gig income if y'all need it, and do that. Put yourself on firm footing. That's what John did when he first got started. Because John, um, uh, your first deal, from the time you joined until you closed your first deal, that was several
Mhm.
months, wasn't it?
Yeah, I still remember it took me 8 months.
Ugh. Eight
Bless you.
months. I
Yes,
sneezed at
eight
the perfect
months.
time. It was like perfect time. 8 months, everybody. That's real. Now, not everybody is at that timeline. Some might be three, some could be six, but it's real. But see, you look at where John is now. It was worth it. But okay. So it takes several months to get your first deal actually closed. Now, John, you were in the military, so obviously you were comfortable with high stress environments. But what was it like, especially with English being your second language? What was it? And by the way, y'all, he's in the deep South and in a more rural area. So it's not like he was in California where he'd be like every neighbor in
Mm.
California. No, I mean he's his background nationality is a bit unique for down south. What was it like? Just the feeling of learning this, talking with sellers. Was it fear? Was it scary? How did you overcome that?
Yes, that's a lot of fear. I still remember when I first start, still got some language barrier. I even went to the school, like after I start a couple of months, decide to go to school to improve myself. And I think one of the seller complained about my English, say, for God's sake, just take the ESL class, something like that.
Yeah,
It kind of like hurt me a little bit, but after a couple of days, I feel like, well, that's me. I know I got a thick accent, but somebody will like me, some people don't. So I'm not living for you. I'm living for myself.
sure.
So like I think a brand told me a long time ago, only like 30% people like you, another 30% don't.
Yep.
Another 40% they don't even care about you.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's true or not, but it seems like that way.
Yeah.
And also, sometimes you got a pressure from the family. You got to support them to.
Sure.
Uh, you feel the pressure, you feel the pain. I think that's the motivation to drive you. I come to this country alone. I been through the military. I think I can do anything. Real
Hmm.
estate is just another journey. It's not that hard as long as you learn the knowledge, don't give up, and just keep doing that. You will
Sure.
be successful. Keep closing deal. I've been there for a couple times.
Yeah,
Yep.
so I hope this is inspiring you all as you see that like everybody starts somewhere. And that was John's beginning of his journey was having to overcome things like as he mentioned a thick accent. And um, Brian, we were talking about this. What are our thoughts on those that have um, a, a, a background like John does in dealing with sellers?
Yeah, and John, that's one of the things we talked about that for some people, everyone's got different perceptions and even stereotypes, whatever it may be. But
Yeah.
I'm sure some people are hearing your accent and going, "Oh, you're foreign. You must have a lot of money." Right? So,
Mhm.
Yeah,
yeah,
it happened a few times.
yeah, there you go. So wherever you're starting is where you're starting, and what matters is you found a vehicle that was real that could allow you to get to where you want to go if you were willing to put in the hard work. And that's exactly what you did, and that's what we love celebrating, and we're going to see some of the examples of that here pretty quick as well.
Yeah.
Uh, whatever you think is a weakness or a disadvantage could just as easily be an advantage. And in the case of John, it was an advantage uh, because most sellers would assume someone who talks and acts and communicates the way John does and looks the way John looks, they would assume he has a lot of money. And that helps make a seller feel comfortable that they're doing a deal with someone who's going to follow through. So, for what it's worth, you all, depending, whatever you think is your disadvantage could just as easily be your advantage. And
Mm.
Brian and myself are experts at turning every what seemingly bad situation in real estate into what it could be a good one. All right, so John, excited to show everybody some real examples, right? We've been talking about reality today. Um, let's first pull up your Graham deal. This one
Okay.
here, This one is modular or manufactured home on a permanent foundation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so take us back onto this deal. I mean, everybody can see the final net profit on this thing was a little over 60,000, but tell everybody how this deal came together and how this thing made $60,000.
This deal closed, I think 2 years ago. Got this deal from a lead provider. So, after talk to the solar, actually it's a solar's sister because this one got a POA situation. So the actual the owner on title got a medical problem, just lose one leg and then move to another state, living with the sister, and then the sister come down to here to help the brother to sell this property.
Mm-hmm.
So after we finished initial phone call, I just do my research and we schedule a day to do the walkthrough meet in the property
Sure.
physically, like in person.
Sure.
I still remember when I pull my car to the parking lot, and there's another truck. Actually, there's another point before me. There's another investor like talking, walk through with the sister as well. I'll wait. I would say like an hour after they finish. Well, it's my turn. So just walk into the house, walk around, talk with the sister about the terms, price. So she kind of like feel a little bit hesitate. Um, I just ask her, hey, before I come here, and you told me you are ready to make a decision if I can pay the price you want. That's kind of like the skills you guys taught
Sure.
me. I app-
Sure.
I I apply, it works.
It does.
So overcome the objection, and then they just take over the contract and they just read and sign initial. Boom. Okay, we got the deal
Yeah.
under contract.
And so this property, you get under contract, round numbers was around 70,000, right?
Yeah, yeah, 70.
70,000, everybody. So yes, this is a rural part of the Deep South. So where you're located, the prices might be a little different. But the point is, the property owner was not even in that area. She had signed over a power of attorney to her family. The family's the one that met John.
Hmm.
And the craziest thing, y'all, is that when John got there to meet with the seller, a competitor investor was there, but John got the deal because he knew what to do because he was in our program. Okay, so you get this under contract for 70,000. It's vacant at the time you meet these sellers, right? This is a vacant home at that time.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And then how do you turn this at this point? Oh, actually, I think people would want to know this too. How much earnest money did you give to get this contract signed? How much money did you give those sellers or the family of the seller?
$2.
$2, everybody.
Yeah.
So for $2, you get this under contract for $2. Now, from there, how do you turn this contract that says that you can buy the house for 70,000 that you gave the
Hmm.
seller $2 for to sign? Uh, how do you turn that into a bunch of money? What happens next?
Okay, so after we officially honor contract,
Hmm.
so I just contact the junk remover is a company. They also do the cleaning stuff as well.
Okay.
So it was full of the junk, like furniture, trash inside the house, especially in the living room on the bottom left corner, that picture. And so I just hire a company to remove, yeah, all the junks, like mattress, uh, a lot of things.
Okay.
After that, just hire a professional company to deep clean the house.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Now, this picture, and I know it's pretty small, everybody, and I'm sorry. I wish everything would behave technologically, but sometimes it doesn't. I'll see what I can get it a little bigger. No, it's not helping. Uh, this picture looks like a bathroom that is in desperate need of some remodeling. So you didn't renovate this house. You removed the junk, or you had a company remove the junk. You had a
Mm-hmm.
company clean it,
Yeah.
but you didn't get out your sledgehammer, get on your helmet and your goggles, and you didn't go out and remodel this house, did you?
No, no, this one is really not necessary. So you can see the picture. That's the worst part of this house. I mean, the
Yeah.
inside. I think that the toilet already like a sink to the subfloor, and the
Yep.
shower look like ugly. Well, it kind of okay, functional, just look like ugly.
Sure.
So just make the inside look like more presentable. And this one. I went a little bit further. I done some landscaping and also clean the outside as well.
Okay. Okay. So a little bit of we call it curb appeal, everybody. A little
Yeah.
curb appeal. All right. So you do that. You do this while you're under contract, right? You haven't bought the property yet. You've made
No.
these bang for your buck adjustments while you were under contract.
Hmm.
What do you do next after that's finished?
After I finish all this professional clean, I just hire a professional photographer, take some
Mm.
nice picture,
Yep.
and then I select the good one and put it on MLS.
All right. So you see what he's done, everybody? At this point, he has gone from under contract, getting it ready to be marketed on the market, and he puts it on the MLS. So he now lists the property on the MLS. Um, and at this point, y'all, that is a technique that allows us to create huge profits with very little risk, very little hassles. What happens when it hits the market?
After this one get on the market, I got uh two, maybe three, or the first one, the first cash offer is came from the junk removing company.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Obviously, I make some mistake. We lose 5K because I kind of like a push too hard to the first offerer,
Yeah.
and yeah, it, it the the owner tried to help the brother-in-law to buy this house. So they try to use their attorney to like finish the to close the deal. But
Yeah.
I'm used to use my attorney. So maybe that part I push too much, and so we eventually we lose this buyer. But after that, we got another cash buyer,
Hmm.
and that cash buyer is a perfect fit. Is the father want to buy this mobile home for his son because his son got a disability. If you see the first picture on the
Yeah.
right side, yeah, that's a perfect fit. The RAM is already there.
Ah, I got you.
So yeah, his son need that. And also he living in the same town and he's an investor. He got a cash and we just kind of negotiated a couple of times. Eventually, we just lock in this a little bit higher than the asking price.
And so about what do you remember about what that purchase price was? Was it 140?
Yes, yeah, a little bit over 140, 270. I think yeah, 140.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense, everybody? Under contract, gets it on the market, has a buyer a little bit above 140, paying all cash. Now, he did have some delays because of the power of attorney and whatnot. But in the end, the net profit, everybody, was a little over $60,000. The new buyer buys the property and he makes the money in the middle. And that technique, that strategy is so profitable. That is not something that they would show on TV. You're removing a little bit of junk and adding a little bit of curb appeal. That's not your remodel. That was simple, smart business, and that's $60,000. All right. I'm looking at the clock right now. We just got a few more minutes. I want to show you all
Mm.
this. This is another deal you did. This one in Siler City. Someone asked, so he bought it for roughly 80. No, he never bought it, Pearl. He had it under contract for 70,000. He had a buyer at 140, and there are closing costs and whatnot. So, does that make sense? He doesn't actually have to buy the property. He makes the money in the middle between the 70 and the 140. All right, Siler City. This one here, you made a little over 50,000. This is another one that you didn't fix up either, right?
No, all I did is power wash.
Okay. All right. So power wash. And this
Yeah.
is one you now y'all, this is an example of a quick close. Because I have in my notes that you closed on this on December 12th. Excuse me, you got it under contract on December 12th, and
Hmm.
you got a handyman to be the cash buyer, and they closed on December 30th. So this one actually closed in about 18 days, y'all, from start to finish. Now, it took a while to get the deal under contract, but this was a quick deal, everybody. This was your 50,000 plus in and out. And again, this went to a cash buyer. So he gets it under contract, puts it on the market, gets a cash buyer, flips it, makes the money in the middle. This is not hype. This is reality. Real properties, real deals. The whole thing is real. So, John, what is this? What is our program, and what has real estate done for you? Like, where is life now from where you were when you had just gotten out of the military and were trying to find a career? What is life like now?
You guys completely changed my life. Even until today, I learned a lot, not just from the real estate, the business, but also like personal life, even like the faith. I don't mind share. I'm a like Christian, and you just one of the person can influence me during like the class or coaching call. And actually, I would say that Solar City, this one is I talked this one with Sabrina. This is just the one of the deal from the God. I got a blessing, especially this one is quick close. So the first one is, I think I closed three deals around that time. So the example, just the two of them, I got another one. It's like easy, smooth. Yes, we got some hassle, but I make good money. So we like a Baptist, people always told me you're kind of like a baby from the Jesus, and you always get a blessing. I'm not sure about my personal life, maybe a different story, but for my business, I think God take care of me pretty good. I closed three good deals.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
and thank you for that. We hear that a lot too, John, that people share with us, Brian and myself and the team, that, you know, the journey of becoming a successful creative real estate investor, while it was incredibly rewarding to have that skill they get to use the rest of their life, they also grew as people. And yes, if you're on any length of coaching calls with me, y'all, it's just gonna spew out of me. I read the Bible every day. Jesus Christ, my Lord and Savior, as is for Brian too. So
Amen.
and we're gonna share the principles of truth, and we know that that helps everybody grow as individuals, because in order um, to live like nobody else, you have to live like nobody else. I mean,
Yeah.
you're going to have to overcome certain limitations. You're going to have to get outside of your comfort zone, y'all. But in the end, you're going to be a better person because of it. You're going to have helped a lot of sellers. Now, that's another thing too, John. As we're getting to at 7:55, you also you also cared about helping sellers too. This wasn't just about money, right? This is about you helping others.
Yes. And for the second one, the solar the
Yeah.
owner on title is very old. think over 85, something like that. And the daughter got the POA. So the daughter got a walkthrough with me. And so they don't have the time because the daughter got to take care of the father. They living, I think, just a couple hour away. And they trust me to sign a contract with me, let me to, excuse me, to take care of the house. So yes, I sold the problem. I make a good money.
Yeah.
We're both
Yeah.
happy.
Yeah. It's just so beautiful. Yeah. Go ahead, Brad.
No, I just think it's wonderful because that's what you were sharing with me when we were talking before, just how much you've been focused on helping people and you've developed skills that allows you to help solve people's problems. And we all know real estate is typically the most expensive thing someone's going to own in their life. And when they have a problem, that real estate can create a ripple effect in their life that can set them back for years if they burn the time, make the wrong decisions. So I know we've talked about a lot of the deals you've closed where you're helping people to really get to a better position and move forward. And that's equally rewarding, right? So you're growing as a person, you're developing skills, but you're also making a
Yeah.
difference in other people's lives, which is just a wonderful thing.
Yeah, especially after the close, and some people they are very grateful and they will share some good testimonial.
Yeah.
You can feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I want to echo one thing. Phil mentioned close a deal in the holiday. The second deal I closed in December 31st. That's the second consecutive year I closed deal in December 31st.
A
So
great way to
everybody,
finish the year.
yeah,
Yeah.
everybody take a vacation, go somewhere. I'm busy to close the deal in the end
Yeah.
of the year. So at the new year, I got money headed to my bank account.
Yep.
It will be a good like New Year present, right?
Sure. Sure. Well, everybody, I hope you've been inspired by John. I hope you've got some clarity tonight as Brian and I have shared hype versus reality. Uh, there are challenges that come up, and there are things that may not always be easy, but it's the best path for so many people that want to earn great income, help people, and have a lot of freedom and flexibility. Again, creative house flipping and the way we do real estate, I think is the best small business in America. And if you all would like to learn more about our program and about being a part of what we're doing and to experience what John went through, start to finish, being with him every step of the way. What you can do is it's popping up on your screen. You can select yes, where it says, would you like to learn more about being mentored by me and the team? John, do you think that without our help, do you think you would have been able to find a way through the maze of real estate investing and you would have been successful on your own?
No, not at all. That's the confident part I learned from this program because you guys taught me a lot, help me to build confidence with my business, with the seller, with the buyer, how to handle the stress, how to handle the pressure. I can't do that by myself. We just be real. We are human. That's the God designed us. Excuse me. In a society, we should like work together to,
Hmm.
personal life in the business or in the military. We're a team or like the sport.
Yeah, I love your point. I mean, life is so much better when we share it together. And as iron sharpens iron, so one
Yeah.
person sharpens another. And yeah, for me, the breakthrough came when I had a mentor. The same with Brian, obviously the same with you. Look, y'all, every successful person in every aspect of life, they've had mentors. And so if you're looking at this thing called real estate and you think it could be a great fit for giving you the financial freedom that you're after, um, we can be that mentor for you. And that's how this program works. We work with you every step of the way to help you from how to find these sellers, structure the deals, get them closed, make the money. And when you win, we win. When you succeed, we succeed. All right. So if you'd like to learn more about that, select yes there on the screen. And for those of you that have selected yes, the next step would be how would you like to connect with us? Would you like to connect with us right now? We've got a few team members that are available to connect with you, and we love to speak with you, answer your questions, and help see if this is going to be the right fit, or schedule for later. That works too. I know we're all very busy. It's straight at the top of the hour. It's 8 o'clock. So if you'd like to schedule for later, we can do that for you too. Um, all right, so select there right now or schedule for later to learn more about this special opportunity, and that is to work with Brian, myself, and our team. Yes, you will be working with us. Yes, we're real. Yes, we're going to work through and help you get to deals as fast as we can possibly get you into deals and making money. No matter where you're starting from, no matter your background, no matter what you think are deficiencies or weaknesses, we're going to help you through it. That's what we do. And thank you, Tom. There's been a lot of nice compliments there in the chat. You can see, John, they're so thankful you're here.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
welcome.
everybody, big thank you to John for being here and sharing his experiences. It you know it's a big deal for Brian and I. I mean, yes, we're certainly doing this to create economic prosperity, but we also love when we can change somebody's life. That's a big win. That's a big win.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And there's also Stephanie shared it for everyone, more on your interview that we did where we went into a lot more depth. Their Army veteran turned successful real estate investor, that's in the chat there for anyone that wants to check out more.
Yeah. So one more thing I want to share for those of you that want to schedule your call with us. Here's how you do that. So they just put a link in the we just put a link in there for you. But check this out. If you go to freedommentor.com/schedule, this is where you can schedule that call with our team to learn more about our apprentice program. So you go to freedommentor.com/schedule, and then you can fill out the form right here. So that link's in there as well. And yeah, thank you for that. More on John's story, military veteran turned successful investor. Yeah, there's a lot more in there too if you want to learn more about John's story, because it is absolutely inspiring. Well, John, what a blessing it's been that you've been here with us tonight, and the message you've shared, and I'm sure you've inspired and impacted some people's lives tonight for the better. So we appreciate you for being here.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
And Brian, as always, thank you, sir. You've been a huge
Absolutely.
blessing to Freedom Mentor, to my life, to the lives of so many students, and we're so thankful. So you all, your next step, reach out to us. You can schedule your call. Also, we'll have a phone number that's going to show up here in just a second. You can call or text us as well with any questions you have about our program or to learn more. Well, everybody, I hope you have a great rest of the week, and thank you so much for being with us tonight. Thanks, y'all.